If you can't work timing for 12 months in a row, meaning if you're not earning more than $1,620 a month because of your restrictions and your limitations, because of your medical conditions, that's the case, then you have to go ahead and you have to apply for disability benefits.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're joined by disability law expert Avi Leibovic, Esquire. He has penned an empowering book. It's called 101 Tips to Win Your Social Security Disability Claim. With over 25 years of experience helping clients navigate the complex world of disability benefits, Avi shares insider knowledge, do's and don'ts, and even proven methods to help you win your case the first time around. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Avi, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real treat to be on the show, and I'm looking forward to getting into it and talking a little bit about disability benefits.
Well, I think it's such an important topic. There's a lot of people out there who are disabled, who can't work, and then they're wrongfully denied because of paperwork mistakes or procedural errors, and they're denied, and it can be almost impossible to get back onto the right track. What do you see as the most common mistake people make when applying for disability benefits?
Well, I want to take a half a step backwards. You talk
Sure.
about people getting denied. I think it's important for the viewers at home to know that on a first-time application, about 70% of all applications are denied, number one. When you appeal it, there's something called the request for reconsideration. It gets even worse. 85% of all reconsiderations are denied. Most of these cases are won at hearing, and it takes about a year and a half to get to hearing. Having said that, the number one mistake that people make, I think, is giving up and doing this without the help of an attorney. Your chances are substantially higher in winning this case if you have an attorney by your side. And this book takes 25 years of experience, of knowledge, of tens of thousands of hearings before judges, and it condenses them into 101 tips. If people give up because they just say, I can't do it, or I'm frustrated, or I don't feel strong enough to get my medical records or strong enough to complete these forms, the biggest mistake is giving up and not looking for help with an attorney.
Amazing. The statistics are staggering. I had no idea that many claims were denied, appeals were denied, and like you said, most are actually won during a hearing. So getting legal help is vital. Is it important, if possible, to win on the first round? Is that easiest? I would imagine it is, right?
Well, the first round, in addition to the statistics of win-loss rates, you have to understand that the timeline is about 8 to 10 months on the first round. So, is it easy? Well, the statistics are 30% of the people only 30% will get approved. Those are very, very sick people, often in critical conditions, or who have excellent medical records. When I mean excellent medical records, I mean there's no gaps in the medical records. I mean it's consistent. They're going every 6 to 8 to 12 weeks. And the doctors are doing the most important thing, is that they're documenting, and documenting. There's so many times that we go to a doctor and we talk to the doctor. We tell the doctor about our symptoms and our feelings and what's going on with our body. And the doctor just sits there and goes, I understand. They need to take their hand and the pencil and they need to get on the keyboard and they need to say exactly what's wrong with you. Only when you have excellent medical records are you really going to stand a chance at winning at the first round. In most cases, 70% you're going to get denied at the first round, 85% you're going to get denied at the second round, and then you need a 60-minute full-blown hearing in front of a judge, and in most cases, a vocational and or medical expert, which is where the attorney comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. How important is timing when applying for Social Security disability?
That's an excellent question. The laws say that you have to have 12 consecutive months when you can't earn what they call substantial gainful activity. The regulations don't say someone who's engaged in work. They say someone who cannot engage in substantial gainful activity. What is substantial gainful activity? In 2025, it's $1,620 a month. So let's talk about that. If you can't work timing for 12 months in a row, meaning if you're not earning more than $1,620 a month because of your restrictions and your limitations, because of your medical conditions, that's the case, then you have to go ahead and you have to apply for disability benefits. The timing on it is essential. And a lot of people think, well, I have to wait 12 months. The answer is you don't have to wait 12 months as long as it's expected to last 12 or more months. If someone gets in a car accident, is in, a trauma case or something like that, a terrible sickness, they don't have to wait 12 months. There's an urgency that if it's going to last at least 12 months, you can apply. So timing is important. Understanding how long the duration your medical condition is going to last is important. And getting the help from an attorney, what you need, is also important.
Sounds like your book is a perfect side-by-side tool for people in need of disability insurance, where they will have the book to answer detailed questions and working simultaneously, perhaps, if at all possible, with an attorney.
That is correct. This book, actually, the brainstorm for this book is I do quite a bit of TikToking. My username is
Hmm.
and benefits for all. I have over 60 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, 60 million views and close to a million followers between both of my accounts. And what I started to do is I started to say disability tip number one, disability tip number two, disability tip number three. And I just kept going and going, and the response was phenomenal. Now, what was great about these tips? What was great about these tips is not only were they on video and people could, see a little bit of excitement towards a dry subject, but it translated very well into a book. People kept telling me, I wish I had exactly what you said, a side-by-side companion to the application or to the appeal, or how do I get ready for the hearing with the judge? By having this book in your side, by having these 101 tips by your side, I'm giving you everything that I have in my mind, plus,
Exactly. Exactly.
plus.
It's great advice from an attorney. And great advice from an attorney is also to hire an attorney when needed. There's an old saying, he who represents himself represents a fool. And I know you've heard that in the legal profession. So it's critical to hire an attorney, but attorneys are expensive. You can cut down on your legal bills by having this book with you so you can, answer some of the questions yourself and have it as a companion for the application. Are there any red flags that instantly hurt someone's chances of approval?
Red flags that hurt someone's chances of approval. That's a very good question. I think that a red flag would certainly be um, activities of daily living, ADLs. Activities of daily living is something that Social Security looks at very, very carefully. It's not just about can you go to work or not go to work, can you earn the money, or can you not go to earn the money. They look at your activities of daily living, meaning from the time that you wake up, can you get out of bed by yourself? Can you dress yourself? Can you prepare your foods by yourself? Can you bathe and shower by yourself? Can you drive a car? Can you handle money? Can you do the chores? Can you do the shopping? These are all samples of activities of daily living. Red flags? Well, if you say I'm driving a car, which takes coordination, which takes postural movements around, which sometimes if you have brain fog or you get lost, and there's a lot of different pieces towards driving a car. There's a lot of different pieces towards shopping online. A red flag to Social Security is that when people just try to go about their activities of daily living, and it shows that they don't have that many restrictions and limitations. It shows that really there are certain things that they could do. That could be a very big red flag that will result in a denial. By having an attorney massage it, by having an attorney argue it with the DDS worker, with the Disability Determination Service worker, discussing the case, explaining why yes, they drive, but they need recovery for 6 hours. Yes, they can go ahead and do some chores, but again, their body aches for 2 or 3 days and their legs swell up. You need to know how to fill out these forms. A red flag is filling out these forms and not properly describing your restrictions and your limitations.
Is a Physical disabilities, they fall under one type of claim. Mental health related claims are a little bit different, sometimes harder to prove.
They are.
Tell us about addressing mental health related claims.
Okay, the Social Security Administration actually came out with a list of rules. They're called adult listings. They're available online and anyone can look at it on the Social Security website, or you can go to Google and you can just put in SSA adult listings and they'll pop up. They have physical listings, as you mentioned, and they have mental health listings. And they covers a very large swath of mental health conditions, from major depressive disorder to schizophrenia to post-traumatic stress disorder to general anxiety disorder to split borderline personality disorder. It goes through all of them. There's really five main things you need to know when approving and establishing the Social Security that you have a mental health condition. The first is, like we said, it has to last 12 or more months. The second thing that you need to prove is that you're seeing treatment from a skilled professional for 12 months in a row. The third is that you're taking all of your medications. Social Security wants to see that you're helping yourself and trying to get better on a mental health. The fourth, no drugs and no alcohol. Drugs and alcohol can create a lot of noise on a case. And the fifth is getting a letter from your doctor stating, the severity of your mental health condition. Mental health conditions and clients that I represent often include hospitalizations, inpatient. They often include failed suicide attempts, multiple suicide attempts. They include isolation, fear of going outside, interacting with the general public, brain fog, like I said, difficulties with memory, pace, and persistence. These are all the types of things that need to be established in the medical records through a trained therapist or psychiatrist or psychologist.
Is it a good idea to talk to your healthcare provider and say, Doctor, I'm pursuing a disability claim because I feel I can't work after this accident or after this breakdown or whatever it is?
That's such an important point, and I'm happy that you're bringing it up. I always say that your doctor has to be your partner in this journey. Your doctor has to be your partner in this journey. They have to know that you've applied so that they know to document, and they have to know that you applied so they know that their documentation is on point. I get people all the time who, when I tell them, that it'd be nice if we got a letter from your doctor outlining when the disability began, the severity of the disability, the symptoms of the disability, as well as your medical opinion as to whether or not it's disabling or not. They tell me, well, my doctor doesn't want to do it. My doctor is not interested because they've been overwhelmed, perhaps in the workers' comp world, or perhaps from the litigation world with torts and personal injury. There's just forms and forms and forms and forms and forms. When you hire a good disability attorney will give you something called the Residual Functional Capacity Questionnaire. Mine takes about 120 seconds to complete. It has checkoff boxes, and it makes it super easy for the doctor to help you out on this journey to get approved for disability benefits.
Wonderful. As you can see, Avi is encyclopedic in his knowledge of disability claims. He is the man. He has literally written the book. So if you're navigating the Social Security disability system, the name of the book you should look for is 101 Tips to Win Your Claim. It is your ultimate guide to success in this field that has a very high failure rate. You're going to want to talk to Avi as well and get a consultation in addition to buying his wonderful book, which is a great companion to having top-notch legal expertise. Avi, thank you so much for joining me here today.
What a treat. I encourage people not to give up. I encourage people to understand that they've paid into the system all these years from their paychecks, and they have to go after the money that's really theirs. You've paid for it. You're sick. You need the money now. You deserve to have the benefits that you need at this time of desperation. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Amen to all of that. Great having you on the show. I appreciate your insight, your wisdom, your experience. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.